Hey everyone, Tyson the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George here, and today we're taking a look at the 2026 Subaru Outback Limited XT, which is a very well-equipped trim level. It's technically the second trim level in the 26 Outback lineup. So full redesign model year on the 26, less wagonish, more SUV-ish. It's virtually the same footprint as the previous gens, but being square, it looks larger and there is a better utilization of the interior room. So new front end kind of follows that flat front end of the Forester. You've got those dual headlights, turn signals, fog lights, which looks very, very aggressive. That large grille. And of course, this is in the crystal white pearl. We still have 8.7 inches of minimum ground clearance, which is nice. Now, the Limited and the Premier both have 19-inch wheels. Good looking wheels, in my opinion. And of course, just like Subaru's been doing, lots of cladding, functional vents to help disperse airflow, black painted mirror caps with integrated turn signals. They've gone away from the flippable crossbars. We've just got the heavy duty crossbars, or roof rails, I should say, with the integrated tie-down location. So you have to get the aftermarket crossbars. I'm sure Subaru will come out with their own shortly. But it's a rather imposing silhouette. Something that I noticed. I think a lot of people are gonna end up putting customizable decals, decals, stickers on these. And this is always gonna be body colored. So if it's blue, it's blue, it's green, it's green. I actually don't mind that. Big fuel door. I'm not sure why they went with such a large fuel door. Not that it's a negative by any means, and it's still tied to the driver door being unlocked, but it's massive. Kind of like the Forester. The Forester's is massive as well. They've increased the size of the third window, so visibility is amazing in this Outback. I did notice that with my brief test drive. They've gone with the raised Outback lettering. Kind of like you said, you see a debossed Forester on the back of the Foresters. We have Subaru debossed into the rear bumper, which is black cladding / plastic. There are functional vents there, kind of hard to see. Don't know if the camera's picking it up, but we do get backup sensors and they'll apply the brakes for things you're gonna hit something in reverse between speeds of 1 and 15 kilometers an hour. I will show you guys towards the end of the video with all the lights on, but it's pretty impressive. Right underneath the B is the power switch. You can of course do it from the key fob, and that opens into this massive cargo area. So there's a lot more volume in the back of the new Outback than the previous gen. I'm personally not a fan of this yet. So they've gone away from the kind of the fixed tonneau cover that everyone's had previously, and it's magnets here, but these hooks you can move, and of course you can remove these. A couple different styles, gives you the little images, partitions, step cover. You can turn it into a hammock, so if you need to separate things. But overall, there's a lot more storage in here. Cargo trays, standard equipment. You've got that mountain, river, sky scene with Outback in it. I actually quite like the designs that Subaru's been doing with their cargo trays. There's still a little bit of a lip around it, which is nice. That's our front plate bracket that comes on with all of the Outbacks in BC. Got a little storage cubby like the previous one with a cargo net. On the left, we lose out on storage because we get the upgraded Harman Kardon audio system, which is really nice. Grocery bag hooks flip down, 12-volt power point for any charging needs. Still have the handles to increase the storage. And like, there is a ton of storage. Here, let's remove this, which this actually isn't too bad. And it's just a little hook right there at the back. This is nice because as much as you could hide the other one underneath the cargo tray and area, this is a lot easier. It comes with a zipper, you can zip it all together, but like, that's a ton of room. You could camp in one of the previous gen Outbacks. There's a lot more height. You could probably sit up in this if you're camping in it, which I'm a big fan of course, this third seat belt. You can, is it gonna let me do it? It will. You can absolutely undo the third one. The spring mechanism in these new ones seems to be a little stronger than the previous ones. LED cargo light, LED cargo light. Look at the texture they've done on the headliner. It's actually quite nice. And then we've got little Easter eggs here, what you can carry on the top, or what they expect you to carry on the top, apparently a shark. We've got measurements here, kind of hard to make out. And then how many dogs you can fit with the second row folded flat, the second row up. I do have a short elsewhere on YouTube that shows those images better. Going to the second row. These seats flip up, and we'll get that seatbelt out of the way. So the spring mechanism, definitely a little bit springier than the previous ones. They've changed it. You no longer have that toggle, but you've got this little tether, which is nice. And you can run the seatbelt through here, which is nice. Keep it out of the way for exactly what we had just done. And of course, you have the ability to recline, pull, and lean. And it goes back a bit. Again, not a ton. It's not like you're sitting in a lazy boy. But the Limited does get the leather upholstered interior, that dark gray / black. Perforated, easy access to the latch system. Lower anchors and tethers for children, for car seats. There's a fold down armrest with integrated cup holders. There's a lot more room in this than the previous generation. Lots of headroom, lots of legroom. This is, I would say, more second row room than a Forester based on me sitting in it, which is nice. We've got a textured step. So if you're loading anything on the roof, they'd rather you step on that because you're kind of centered along the rail system. And the tire, just like the previous one, sit inside the fender, so you're not going to get as much of your foot on that. And again, we're pretty much right at the back of the rack system when you do that. So potentially leaning over to load things. They don't want that. They want you safe and secure. We've got that little black slot. That's what this extra side impact crash safety bar goes into. It locks in there and is designed to stop intrusion into the passenger cab in the event of a side collision. Soft touch door card, soft touch armrest, which is really nice. Handles feel good in your hand. Auto windows all throughout, and we've gotten rid of the black, the piano black. Now it's kind of this brushed gray, which is really nice. I don't think it's going to mark up as much. Something that's smart, Subaru has done carpeted bottle holder / storage area in the doors. Less things rattling around. It's a little bit padded. Time will tell how that's going to resist use and wear. The all-season carpet mats you get with are textured, just kind of like the headliner. 3 matte back pockets, and then of course our illuminated USBs, our dual outboard heated seats, and then vents underneath the front seat in addition to out of the center console. So heat up and cool down the second row very effectively. Another LED cargo light, which is nice. And if you need it, child lock. Nice solid sounding doors when you close them. I love that sound. The front door card looks very much the same as the rear in terms of soft touch and colorway. All 4 auto windows, window lock. 2 position memory settings for your power driver seat, which is great if there's 1 or 2 regular drivers. Again, carpeted bottle holder and a little bit of storage there. It actually goes back further into the door. It doesn't just end right here. It does go back a little bit. So more room there than you would expect. It is a power driver seat, including lumbar, and they've gone with the same seat style with the Forester and Crosstrek, and they've moved that over to the Outback. So very, very comfortable, designed for long distance driving. You get less vibration and harshness transmitted from the road through the tires, through the chassis, and into you in the front 2 seats. So that results in less fatigue and safe for longer driving distances. We've got a soft touch dash, which is nice. Semi-soft touch up top. Down here, we have the ability to open the rear hatch. We've got the scroll wheel for the brightness of the gauges. Leather wrapped steering wheel, and of course it's heated. Push button. We've got the EyeSight Driver Assist monitor there. Those little LEDs indicate different parts of the EyeSight system are operating. Turn on that heated steering wheel. And then this is a pretty standard Subaru steering wheel, which is nice. Leather wrapped, heated. Left-hand side, Bluetooth and audio controls, volume controls, issue voice commands through Google Assistant or Siri. This will change our center display, which is a 12.1-inch digital display. Looks like it's borrowed from the WRX TS and the hybrid Forester and Crosstrek. A couple different screens depending what you want to look at. Navigation is nice. That's what they call calm mode. So digital speedo and not a lot else to look at, which is really nice. Just depends entirely what you want to see. You can change the little center display there, or what the information that you're seeing in there, just with these arrows. And each time you click it, just gives you a different piece of info. Depends what you want to look at, if you want to look at it. Paddles on the back of the steering wheel, still manually select your own gears, which is nice. Headlight stock is the same, fog lights are the same. And there's this new little green icon with the little foot right there. That is Subaru's newest safety feature, acceleration override. So if you accidentally hit the accelerator instead of the brake, something along that lines, it cuts power and applies the brake, which I'm a big fan of. Oh, I apparently issued a voice command. Sorry about that. Right-hand side, we've got adaptive cruise and lane centering. So When you turn on the adaptive cruise, you get the image above the Outback there, those 3 lines, all the way down to 1, and you can see there's 4 bars. That's the follow distance behind the vehicle ahead of you that you'll follow at when you hit cruise. So 4 bars at 100 kilometers an hour. And when you set your speed, those 3 lines right there will change to whatever speed you've set. You'll follow at 150 to 180 feet behind the vehicle ahead of you at 100 kilometers an hour, which is nice. Lane centering, turn that on. You get the little image of the hands and the steering wheel, and above 60 kilometers an hour, these gray lines will go white, and it'll actually give you gentle steering input, keep you centered in your lane. And that pairs with Subaru's other new safety feature in the Outback, emergency stop assist. I'll include a video going over that and demonstrating that in this video description. It's a pretty cool feature. Lots of people are on the road longer than they want to be, getting tired, drowsy. It's going to help with that. We've got X mode on the steering wheel now. So regular, single mode, X mode, like 4-low in a pickup for the rough stuff. Steering wheel is both tilt and telescopic, depending how you like to drive and sit, which is nice. I'm a big fan of the telescopic. Even our entry levels have that. One of the biggest changes is they've got rid of the vertical 11.6 inch. They've gone with a horizontal 12.3 inch. It's 12.1 or 12.3. But yeah, it's nice. This is the base screen, kind of your home screen. So it's kind of set up like Android Auto already. I am hooked up to Android Auto. I can go into that. Above the screen, we have the driver focus system. You may have noticed a little red light there. There it is. That's an infrared camera trying to scan me in. You can scan your face in. It'll tell if you're distracted or drowsy behind the wheel, which is pretty handy. Volume knob. They got rid of the physical tuning knob, which is unfortunate, but it's nice to still have a physical volume knob. The screen, very, very responsive. Android Auto, MySubaru. This is the home screen, so if you want the tiles like the previous ones, kind of there, you can add additional shortcuts. Go to music. It's very, very responsive, which is nice. Into Android Auto. Easy to use. Easy to go back to main screen. Big fan of that. Oh, and I guess I might as well show you the reverse, the backup camera. It's very, very clear. Rear assist braking's on, parking sensors are on. It's really easy to turn each of those off if you don't want them working. Top of the bumper's there, so you have something to relate to. And of course, they kept the backup camera washer, which is the best thing ever for our sloppy winters. Below that, easy to use functional vents. And now Subaru's gone back to physical HVAC controls, which is really nice. You've got a dial for the driver's side. And of course, it is still dual zone for the passenger. Easy to sync it back to just driver controlled. Direction of airflow, fan strength. You can have it focus the entire cab or just the front if you don't have anything or anyone in the second or third or back behind the second row seats if to heat up or cool down. 3 stages of heated seats are nice. Below that, 2 USBs, wireless charger. This plastic piece, it doesn't come as an accessory, but it's not installed. So this used to just be a big flat piece. This is designed to hold the phone. It just clips in. So if you didn't want it or your phone doesn't fit in this, I'm sure you could remove it. You can turn off the wireless charger if you don't want it. If you're plugged in with a USB, you have that. That's that's a cable holder. I shouldn't say USB holder, but a cable holder, which is really nice. And this storage above where the glove box is, it's actually fairly deep. You can actually put a phone there. It's not like the previous ones where it was virtually nothing. There's a decent amount of space there. Automatic CVT with the manual mode. The cup holders are oriented very nicely. Again, more of that gray brushed plastic. Piano black around the center console here, which I'm actually a little bit shocked they didn't stick with this, but that's a small gripe. You can disable auto start stop, click of a button. You can enable auto vehicle hold, and you can disable traction control. All physical buttons, which are nice to have. Parking brake, you pull up to activate. Still get it up there. If my foot's not on the brake and I push down, it does say depress the brake, down. And if you need it, 12-volt power point, a little bit of storage back here. This is a really nice soft touch armrest. Fit some of your owner's manuals in there if you need. There's a place to run cables into or out of, but again, no power points inside. Up top, auto dimming rear view mirror. You've got the HomeLink system here. Up to 3 separate garage doors can be hooked up to your mirror. This is auto dimming. Your side mirrors are auto dimming, which is nice. Integrated compass. And then we have our SOS and roadside part of the MySubaru Connected Services trials that you get with most new Subarus. You'll get a little green light there when it's enabled. Tilt and slide sunroof controls, our door light switch for our map lights. And then of course, sunglass storage. Regular size sunroof with the manual shade. And then of course we have our card holders, vanity mirror with light, and our extenders, which are pretty par for the course. Nice to have. This is probably the biggest thing. This screen doesn't stick up and into your driver view like some of the other tablet style screens in other vehicles. And the visibility in this is, in my opinion, absolutely incredible. Not that it was poor in the last Outback, but this is definitely an upgrade or an improvement for sure. Now, I'll show you under the hood. This is the 2.4 liter turbocharged boxer engine. So the hood release, same placement as every other Subaru there. And just like every other Subaru, it's hand to the right, move to the left. They have changed the orientation, but this is that 2.4 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder boxer engine, 260 horsepower, 277 pounds-feet of torque. Looks like every other 2.4 in here. Pretty much everything in yellow is what your average consumer is going to touch during ownership. We've got our oil dipstick, we have our coolant reservoir oil filler, we've got our top mount oil filter, which is really nice, washer fluid, and brake fluid, and then really easy access to the battery. And then this is the only engine configuration in the Limited. It is the Limited XT. And here we go with the headlights and fog lights on, which is really nice. I like the look. It's definitely different than the previous gen Outbacks, a departure from that traditional wagon. Definitely more SUV-ish. And there are those rear lights lit up. I really like the rear end of it, especially with the lights on. So thank you for sticking with me, watching my walkthrough of this brand new redesigned 2026 Subaru Outback Limited XT. I'm Tyson, the Subaru Specialist from Subaru Prince George. If you guys have any questions about the new Outbacks, something you saw in the video you'd like me to elaborate on, or anything about Subaru in general, please put it in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll talk soon.